That look good. Oh, see, we're live.
We're live.
We got the alert. look at the lovely logo.
Hello, Sarah Beth here.
Is that my cue?
Yes.
Yes, Noble's here. So we're live this week, and the hot topic of conversation that nobody can shut up about is the video, not the video,
No,
the list that Alexander Cortez made.
Yes.
How to be a beautiful woman.
I checked out the list.
There you go. What he should have done is just thrown a picture of this lovely lady here, and then boom, done. But no, he was very, very specific in his list, and it upset people.
Which I don't get.
Well, do you really not get?
No, I mean,
because we live in an outrage culture.
We do live in an outrage culture.
We live in a culture where people say, and I apologize for like the dark lighting here. By the way, it looks like we're like, no, it's because we have a very white PowerPoint presentation behind us. We don't want to assume it's race, but it's very white. And
it's our notes.
It doesn't show well when we have the lights up all the way.
Right. So
it's a little dim in here, but don't worry, we're as bright as ever. So Cortez comes out with his list. And butts get hurt all over the place over it because he basically says, well, women should be, attractive in all these different ways. And I don't have the list right here. We'll have it.
I mean, honestly, the list was about leveling up.
The list was about
it was high standards,
improving yourself. And I think the problem was, one, Cortez is writing the list from a man's point of view. This is what men find attractive. And let me tell you something. That's not a bad thing, ladies, for you to hear.
It's good insight.
If you want to know, like if you're out there and you're trying to put up your Tinder profile and you want to know, like, okay, I really want to attract some super handsome Chad with money. I wish he would tell me what it is he likes.
Cortez is that guy.
Cortez is your guy. He's telling you what he likes. And what he likes is what I like and what most dudes
like.
There's
a lot. Okay, so when I look at that list definitely resonates with a lot of the men that I've ever talked to in my life.
Right.
Even if you look at Cortez and you're like, he's got long hair. I'm not into that.
He looks like discount Jason Momoa. Like the names they were coming up with him were epic and amazing.
They were pretty epic.
We'll talk about that later.
But I think that it was a good list. And if you're a single woman and you're and you're a heterosexual single woman and you're trying to attract men that are handsome, that keep high standards of themselves, those are the standards you have to keep for yourself. So the list
really showing in mirror view here.
Its list didn't bother me. Yeah, I don't think they can read it. This for us.
You're not going to read this. I'm sorry.
These are our notes. So level up your life. We are going to talk about 5 things.
5 things. And she's going to count because she's better at math.
So we've got be convicted in what you believe, and we're going to give some examples of how you can demonstrate that outwardly. We have loyalty to your comrades, which this was demonstrated a lot by how Cortez's list and other people who used that list or created their own list triggered others, and their comrades kind of came to their side to back them up. We've got meet consequences head on. If you're going to be bold and put this information out there, you're going to trigger people and they're going to come after you. And how you handle that speaks to your character and who you are. Be secure in your character. And so that's just important all around. But especially when you are delivering a message that people don't want to hear, you have to believe in your character and be secure in that. And then the last one, actions speak to your worth. And I talk a lot. I'm all about, building your worth, and your actions is what builds your worth. People say that about this all the time on Twitter. It's like, you can talk, but what do your actions say? So those are some of the things that we're going to talk about. And so the first thing up.
I'm just dying.
I know, that's great.
Okay, so here's the list. This is what I wanted like 5 minutes ago. But she said you got to tell people what you're going to say, and then you got to tell them.
Yeah.
And then you got to tell them what you told them. These are the rules for a presentation.
You remember that.
So, yeah. I'm like a steel trap.
You are a steel trap.
So why did you do that? It was good where it was, and then you moved it. See, now we're getting better light. Let's see.
Okay,
don't continue. This is the actual list. So he says, how to be a beautiful woman. be thin. Now, this is the one point, and to Cortez's credit, he went back and looked at it and said, okay, did I really say anything screwed up here? And the one thing he said he would change is he changed be thin to be fit. And that's correct. Because,
I agree with that.
Anorexic is not necessarily what he's trying to preach here. He's trying to preach a physically fit woman
thin and unhealthy.
that is muscular, well-built, attractive. If I get any more graphic with this description, we're going to change the rating on this video. Be able to cook. Okay, pretty obvious. Have long hair. Okay. Wear makeup.
I am lipstick ready, and for those of you who are interested, I'm wearing Revlon
we're not getting paid for this, so
and it is
Revlon. If you're going to throw us a few,
Limitless Black Cherry, good stuff.
Good. Be feminine. Be graceful. Be sensual.
His capitalization.
Be anal retentive about capitalization. Shave should without saying, like ladies. Okay, this on dudes is okay. On ladies, not okay. We don't want to see your pit hair. I know that like you're burning your bras and you're wearing,
but shaving all the time, shaving your legs all the time is
I understand. If you live in Wisconsin and it's 12 degrees below and you're not on a hot date, maybe you don't have to shave that day. Fine. Okay.
But if you don't like shaving, you can go laser. You can go laser. You can laser that stuff right off.
Handle your epidural. Epidermal. I might have said that wrong.
Yeah.
Be fashionable. Wear pink and feminine colors.
Sure, I'm very fashionable.
Okay. In other words, I'm sorry, the goth look doesn't really work unless you're like going to a bodies convention. There are exceptions.
I went through a phase, so I wear a lot of earth tones.
Did you consider yourself a beautiful woman?
Not when I was wearing my earth tones. Okay. I look a little bit like
leave the khakis and
Crocodile Dundee-ish.
No, we're not. I don't want to bang Crocodile Dundee. Some guys do. Not judging. Love men. Listen to men.
Okay, that's what triggered everybody.
Was listen to men.
Yes.
Okay. Would you say?
Yes.
That a man who wants to be attractive to women should listen to women?
Yes.
So what you're saying is that women are triggered, and I think these are mostly feminists, the F word, are triggered when they are said, you should expect to have to listen to the people that you might be sexually interested in, just as you would expect the people that are sexually interested in you to listen to you, but somehow that's not okay. See, this is where, like, if you really break down his list, there's really nothing wrong with it. Okay. Now, if you want to look at it through the lens of, I want to be angry, and there are people that like being angry. There
is, but there's a couple things on here, like have long hair. Like long hair is a pain in the butt. So I've had short hair. I've had the pixie. It was a pain also. Wear makeup. This is about as much makeup as I wear, except when I go to Derby and I get weird. But this is about, I don't wear a lot of makeup.
No, but when you go out on a fancy date, you wear a little bit.
I do a little bit more, but I hardly ever do
that's like when I go on a fancy date. I actually trim those hairs a little bit, and
You mean a fancy date with me?
Yes, that's what I meant.
I'm trying to think of some of the other things. Like listen to men. I think that was the one that triggered people the most.
Yes, but as I just demonstrated, that really shouldn't, because what it's really saying is,
I listen to you.
Not as well.
Always.
Not as well as you should. The point is, you're not going to respect somebody that doesn't listen to you.
Yes.
So,
and that goes both ways.
If you want to be respected, then you need to listen to the person that you want the respect from. If I walk in to Vito Corleone's office and I don't listen to him, he's not going to respect me. And then I'm going to sleep with the fishes like Luca Brasi.
Now, this list, though, we're not the only ones that agree with it. This has 2,200 retweets, 10,000 likes.
10,000 likes. He got 15,000 responses. Okay, so this blew up. This is the definition of a viral tweet. So let's not dwell on this too long.
So great idea. It turned into a great format. And what happened?
It became a meme.
I know you're supposed to hit the button.
Oh. It became a meme. So even I, if you could, I know you like to be the center of attention.
That's okay.
You can come over a little bit.
Go ahead.
So Imitation is a serious form of flattery. So I came up with, and I'm not the only one, but I came up with one that did very well, not as well as Alexander's, but 42 retweets and 170 likes. How to be a beautiful single dad. Be successful enough to retire early, live in quiet seclusion with your daughter, refuse to cooperate with her kidnapper, steal cars, military weapons, and a seaplane, attack the island lair of the villain, and slaughter a small army of goons. Of course, I'm describing the plot to the epic Arnold Schwarzenegger film Commando. The point is, it's funny, and I'm kind of making fun of it, but at the same time, am I? Like, that's a pretty awesome single dad there. Find me a better single dad than Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando. John Matrix is like the bar that my single daddom is set at, and I'm going to have a hard time keeping up with that because my daughter has not been kidnapped yet. So you hit the button. Okay, so where we enter Sociopathletic, where we got drawn into the conflict here.
So others did this too. So others took the format and did that because now, Hunter Drew is married.
Yes, he is married, and his thing is the family alpha, and he talks about kind of red pilling your entire family. And
we've talked about him before.
Yes, and he's awesome. He does a great job. And so he did now his is more serious than mine was. Although was mine not serious?
Okay.
How to be a better wife.
Right.
And it's basically the same thing, but tweaked a little bit to add things that he has observed in his years of marriage that has made him successful.
Right.
Same thing. Cook for your family, have long hair, ditch your bitch friends. Okay, well, hey, everybody has bad friends, and sometimes you have to
get rid of the toxic with your friends.
Yeah. Be feminine, stay in shape, be graceful, sensual, shave, be fashionable. I mean, these are all the same thing. Love your family more than your job. That's probably one that triggered people, right? Because you have to put your family first. You would think that would be obvious. And would you expect a father to love his family more than his job? Yes, he should.
I'm in a corporate job, and I put my family first.
Listen to your husband, care for your kids. You've actually built a career around being able to take care of your family. Yes. So that's what a good mother does. So some of
the things that we attributed to this whole thing. So he created the list, and then he got some consequences. So he's convicted in what he believes, and he stands next to it. He receives a lot of flack for it, but he stands by what he says. And this is where loyalty to comrades come in, because Twitter is an open market, right? Everybody sees what's happening. And as the people who believe in Hunter and what he does, he gets attacked by this Irish feminist. People like this man right here comes to his side.
So this is it Ciara? I don't know. Maybe because she's Celtic, it's Kiara. I don't know. I'm Irish, but I'm not that Irish. Apparently, I'm not Irish enough, according to these people. And she says, the head on this man means that every single thing in this tweet is even more ridiculous. So she posts a picture of Hunter's head, and she's making fun of the way he looks. And I'm like, Hunter is a handsome and distinguished-looking gentleman, and I will tolerate no slander.
He looks like a lumberjack.
He does.
He looks like he could kill a man.
He is a manly man. And so I read this woman's
loyalty to comrades. You should have that. If you don't have that with your friends,
feed, and I can in her bio, she's like, well, I'm an Irish feminist. And I'm Are you
Irish?
I am Irish by ancestry, but not by birth. I was born in the United States of America, just so I'm not making any false claims.
Right.
But the point is that she says she's an Irish feminist. And I say, well, on behalf of my ancestors, we disavow you. And the reason why I said that is because most Irish, at least at the time of my ancestors, were like devout Catholics, and feminism was not a thing. And current modern feminist values were not a thing. So I came at her with that. I got 23 likes. But people attack me for it. So she retweets this to her tribe. She's got several thousand followers. And all these people come out of the woodwork, and they're coming after me.
But he is secure in his character, and he meets consequences with you were very nice, I think. And calm.
Well, it's only Twitter.
Because it is only Twitter, but because of the outrage culture that we have, you could have been like, F you, rah, 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 throwing things around, giving your katana. It would be like mass chaos, but you weren't.
Should I show him the katana?
No, we don't need to show.
So
which one?
Yeah, right. I have to, because that's what Musashi used to carry. So, just to give you some examples, one of them says, we all love Ciara. Life has changed in Ireland since your ancestors lived here. Women even have the vote. And I just quote tweeted and said, well, I should hope so, because when my ancestors left, everybody was starving to death.
So diffusing and using history and being smart and intelligent.
Right. And then this woman is going after, actually, not me directly. She's going after Bryce, who, shout out to Bryce, plays Fortnite with my kid. He streams he's at Jesus Bryce 1. Follow him and find him on Twitch. He's a good dude. I digress. So, because he's apparently of Irish descent, and she's like, "Oh, your grandmother was Irish. You're Canadian. That's too tough for you to comprehend." Like, she's making fun of him, and I'm like, "Okay, apparently the ancestral suffering and departure from Ireland deletes your heritage. Like, I'm not Irish anymore because my great grandfather left. So I didn't know that." And then somebody says, "Keep being a dick. It won't substitute for your lack of personality." And I said, "I don't need personality. I have biceps."
They are very nice.
If you have one of these T-shirts, which we're going to talk about later, look at it. The logo can't cover the entire bicep.
So it continues.
It continues.
This feeds itself, and people start piling it on.
It gets funny though. It gets funny because then this guy's like making fun of my jaw and my square head, and how my jaw is as square as the rest of my head. And I'm thinking, I thought square jaws were a masculine feature. So
you're hot. You're pretty sexy.
I am. I know. But thank you for telling me, because sometimes I. And then this guy should be the prime suspect for any unsolved murders in the Arizona area. So you're saying I look like I could kill a person?
He's pretty okay with that.
I'm not offended by that. Does sociopathlete mean has the facial hair of a Rob Liefeld villain?
This was a good one.
I love this.
I'm going to get some more of mine.
Please do. I'm going to keep talking about how awesome it is. Okay, just for the record, I was reading comic books when Rob Liefeld started drawing comic books for the first time. Okay, he came out, he started at Marvel, and then he did his own thing and all sorts of stuff. And he was an incredible artist. Now, some people make fun of his stuff because, like, look how incredibly huge, like, all his characters are and jacked they are. And okay, the point is, though, is that he overinflated the masculine traits of all the men in his comic books. So saying that I look like a Rob Liefeld comic book villain is about the nicest thing you can say to me. So
made his day.
Dave Rudden, D_Rudden writes, "Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. I understand that you were trying to virtue signal."
We've gotten really bad at being mean to people.
Well, have we? Or have we said, if you are what you say you are and you are what you want to be, then the insults people throw at you don't really matter. In other words, I want to look like a masculine dude that can kill people. So when you say you look like a masculine dude that can kill people, I'm okay owning that. I'm fine with that. I want to look that way. Because as Bobby Dino talks about in his book, The Code, buy now, it's available. You want to have that kind of appearance and that kind of frame, because she's been drinking, so she's a little extra affectionate. I apologize.
There's no more in the bottle.
So what he talks about, though, is that if you're walking down the street and you have the appearance of somebody that is not worth fighting with, then the potential mugger or robber or rapist or killer or whatever is going to find an easier target. And he says, basically, you can avoid 90% of all physical conflict in life by just looking like you're not worth the trouble. So that's kind of what I'm doing here.
They say that rapists, the first thing that they notice is your shoes.
Can you run away?
Can you run away?
You can't run away in this thing. You can't run. See, I'm wearing.
I can run away in these, but not if you're stepping on my toe.
But you could not run me because I'm in athletic footwear.
If it was a long distance, I could.
If it was a long distance race, yes, but I don't need to run that far.
Okay, so we've got, again, loyalty to comrades. Very important that you get rid of the toxic in your life and you have good men around you and women. Right. And then being secure in your character. I mean, I'm secure. I mean, when people come at me and say, "Oh, you're past your prime," I'm like, well, I'm like way past my prime. I'm not like a couple years. Like that's one of the insults that got thrown at me, was that, well, you're a couple years past your prime. And I'm thinking, try more like 15, just saying. And I'm like, I'll take that as a compliment. I'm good.
I'm actually like robbing the cradle here. She's just saying this for effect. So like it got to the point where my good friend Abraham Lopez, author of Going Gone, available now on Amazon.
Buy now.
You can buy it. Actually made a meme of this, of like, Irish feminist, is this an insult? Like square jaw. Like, so it was getting that silly where I was just sharing all these insults being thrown at me, and everybody else that's kind of like in my tribe is like, what's going on?
It didn't stop there, though.
It didn't stop there. So then we had this clown, Brian Sherry. He's the first and only person to leave a review on our Facebook site. Did you know we had a Facebook page?
I know we don't.
I don't ever post on it.
We don't do a lot with it.
No, we don't. But this guy took the time
to find it,
to Google this stuff, find our Facebook page, and leave a negative review and said he's a racist.
Racist against who?
Racist against who? And so, again, Abraham Lopez, author of Going Gone, buy his book now, comes in and says, I'm just curious what data research you have proving he's a racist. A serious allegation. I only ask because he's been nothing but supportive of me. Admittedly, I'm just a run-of-the-mill Mexican. Hey, Abraham, you are anything but a run-of-the-mill.
I know.
You are an exceptional Mexican, okay? You are the El Guapo of Mexicans. You are educated. You got the intellect. And if you understood that reference, leave a comment in the chat. So, I'd like to know because, I'll reevaluate my stance. And this guy's like, he's taking an anti-Irish rant. The whole thing started with me saying my Irish ancestors would disavow this. So this is an anti-Irish rant now. Okay. Apparently I'm anti-Irish.
Okay, but
are you Irish? Because I can't have you in my house.
I am not.
I'm anti-Irish.
I'm from the other part of the island.
Okay, good.
But the thing is the insults and the attack on character was baseless. Like it had no fact behind it.
No.
And even I came and said something against this guy, and he was like, "Oh, okay, good luck with that."
It's still on the page. We didn't take it down.
And that's all he said because we've got a lot of straw man arguments out there. As long as you say that someone's racist, it seems to be okay. Right. And maybe that's because of the political ideology that you believe in, but it's
we could take a whole nother hour talking about the intersectionality of leftist politics and so on and so forth.
Well, we won't. So we've got, again, the things that we've been talking about: loyalty to comrades. He has a good group of men around him that come to his aid. Thank you, Abraham. Meeting consequences head on with grace and subtlety. Maybe subtlety isn't the word, but you're just like, that doesn't really bother me. And if you're secure in your character,
a baseball bat is more subtle than a shotgun.
This stuff won't bother you. And actions speak to your worth. So that's something that we want to talk about with Brian Sherry.
Brian, what are you doing with your life? Look,
what's that?
I respect you that you took the time to track us down and find our Facebook page and leave your well thought out comment. But what if, maybe crazy idea here, what if you took that time and spent it creating something of your own? If you feel this strongly about this level of virtue signaling or whatever it is you care about, and I'm not really sure because you were just going all over the place with this, write an essay on it. Put it on the blog. You know what? WordPress is free. Blogger is free.
Maybe his thing is about standing up for Ciara.
That's fine. That's you know what? You can make a Ciara fan page. Do whatever it is it takes, but create something with your outrage.
Don't just be a critic.
Rather than be a critic, because a critic doesn't do anything but try to destroy anything. And a creator realizes that being a critic is stupid because criticizing
better use of your time.
Well, not only that, but once you've taken the time to create something, you learn to appreciate the effort that goes into it. And you learn to appreciate that, hey, as a creator, I respect that this person put something out in the world. And I want to, if I can't support it, I don't need to spend time tearing it down because that's counterproductive and that's hurtful. So maybe instead I'll just turn my attention back to whatever it is I'm creating. Spend your time creating first before you spend your time being a critic, because you'll find that you have no time for being a critic if you're a creator.
Well, what if you do all this? Is there a payoff?
Is there a payoff?
If you stand up for your character and your actions speak louder and all this stuff, is there a payoff? Well, we were talking about Cortez's list. We're talking about all these different things that people came at him, but what happened?
What happened? Well, to his own post. What being crucified and taken down looks like: 6,000 new followers and over 53 million impressions on that initial tweet. 53 million.
That's a pretty good payoff. And that's just him being him and speaking the truth. And he took a lot of grief for it.
And he got 62,000 mentions, 2.1 million profile visits. I mean, it's insane the amount of engagement he got. And he did a lot of things.
And it didn't stop there.
No, like this TV show in Philadelphia came out and was trying to make fun of him. And then he was just like, okay, dude, well, maybe we should be making fun of you instead. And then he talks about, this guy comes out and does the Google search. Funny. If you go to Google and search how to be a beautiful woman, Alexander Juan Antonio Cortez is your number one hit. He owns that definition now. That is absolutely winning. Well done, Alexander.
All I do is win.
Yeah, he does. He's like the Drake of Twitter. And then he's making fun of himself. He's like, do any other major news outlets want to put my name and face in front of millions of people? Please hit me.
That's security. That's being confident in your character, and he doesn't need the approval
he is what
of
you call
these critics.
A sovereign individual, which is courseware that he's selling with Jose Rosado, the Sovereign University. So
well done.
Check that out. I'm plugging you guys for free here. So leave a comment and share the video because I'm helping you. Help you.
Yeah, but you plug them because
you know why?
Loyalty to your comrades.
Exactly. Jose is an awesome dude.
He is.
He did our banners on our Twitter pages. So if you see those, he does good work.
He does do good work. He's a hustler.
He hustles his ass. Dude is working 24. He's awake now. He's in the Dominican Republic. He's smoking all the good cigars. I can't even get any because all the good tobacco is going to his place. And he's working with Cortez and everybody else. So.
And there's more examples.
There's more. So Fox News does this thing, and there's this ridiculous story, and then but then he starts getting positive feedback. Like some of these women start speaking up and saying, "Hey, you know what? There's nothing wrong with his list.
There's nothing wrong with this list. I agree. There's nothing wrong with this list.
You know what it is?
If you want to attract
the beautiful women, agree.
Attract high standard men. You have to hold yourself to high standards.
It doesn't hurt to look at his
list.
And
his list is not that high. It's not that unattainable.
I don't know. How hard is it to shave?
Well, shaving is a pain. Long hair is a pain. Makeup.
Clean this up.
If you have a good. I
don't even shave my whole face.
If you have a good skincare routine,
Johnny Noble can help you out with that.
Johnny Noble.
So
you can look youthful. I think because I was a swimmer when I was younger.
If you need help getting up in the morning, Nick Lowry can sell you some of his Ground Shark coffee. Is there anybody else we got to plug here? Comment in the thing. See, Abraham's watching. Nice branding. Yeah. Buy Abraham's book. He left a comment. Abraham, drop a link to your book in there, buddy. So yeah, basically what Alexander said really was not that ridiculous.
No.
And you could make the same list for men, and most men would be like, yeah, you're right. I need to do better. I need to play fewer video games and I need to lift more weights. And that's not that hard. And I need to listen to the women that I'm interested in because guess what? They like it when you actually listen to them. Even if you don't have to agree. It doesn't say obey.
No, you don't have to obey.
It doesn't say agree. It says just listen.
You want to know what women, my friends, complain about the most?
What do they complain about the most?
Is that their husbands do
not have the same standards that I do.
No one.
We're completing each other's sentences.
You are trying to make this go in a certain direction. What most women complain about is that their husbands don't complete projects.
Okay.
They're like, I can go and build a blah blah blah, and then they're like, okay, let's do this, and then you start it and they don't finish it. Some of that stuff, that's the stuff that women complain about. I'm just saying. Okay. And that they have an unbelievable standby and they can't keep up with it. Which
that's just I can't help you there, gentlemen. So we're gonna wrap this up, right?
We're gonna wrap this up.
We have another plug.
So be convicted in what you believe in. Loyalty to your comrades. Have a good group of guys, women around you to support you and give you honest feedback. Meet consequences head on. When someone comes at you after something you've said, don't ignore it. Don't go at them with anger. Just say, okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. I guess we disagree. Not a big deal. We don't need to be outraged. The securing your character, that's all about confidence. If you don't have confidence in who you are, well, then you need to think about who you are a little bit more. And actions speak to your worth. We all know that what we do speaks louder than what we say. And we've got...
Look at that. Look at that.
Let me just step
It's
up.
backwards, so you can't read it unless you're,
But it's all about this right here.
So this is one of the new t-shirts. Now, if you go to sociopathletic.com/shop, you can get one of these lovely branded t-shirts. Now, these are not the cheapo, like cotton off the back of a truck t-shirt. Okay. We spent a lot of time, a lot of money.
We did.
We literally, I've got a closet full of shirts that we rejected. We said, these are not good enough. I'm not making this up. I swear. So this one is one of these really soft ones. Like your girlfriend's going to steal it because it's so cozy.
It is.
And it's comfortable. It fits well. It's, a tri-blend. What are you doing there?
Sorry.
Should I pan the camera down so you can share with you?
No, stop.
So there's several designs available, and they are all available in a number of different colors. So you can get a shirt that's totally unique until somebody else buys the exact same one in color as you do. But get it first. Get it now. And and they're available in all kinds of sizes. And there's also some ladies tank tops in there. And we'll have more stuff coming soon. But right
Parenting is out for the week.
There's about 10 different designs there now. So go check it out. Sociopathletic.com/shop.
And
it will take you to our secure Shopify print-on-demand store. It'll be your shirt, custom made just for you.
But the point of these t-shirts is to be a bit provocative. Is to start conversations with strangers, help other people level up their life. Like we want that. What is best in life? Like you need to think about that. Parenting is not for the weak. You need to think about it.
The Barbarian 17 times like you should have. You don't need to think about that. You should know exactly. It's not falcons on your wrist and the wind in your hair. It's crushing the enemies and seeing them driven before you.
And then if you have any kids that play Fortnite, we even made a little...
I got a Fortnite t-shirt out there. I got all kinds of stuff out there. Yes. So get the paint chip t-shirt. The kids love it. Trust me. So
it's pretty fun.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming by to view the video. We went a little long, but that's okay. It's a good topic. And we will see you guys all in a fortnight.
Fortnite.